Are you running a mail server? Then security is not optional. Today I show you 7 critical steps to harden your Mailcow server. And on step 7, I show you how to automatically block anyone that tries to guess your password, either in Web UI or even login attempts in Outlook, Thunderbird or any other mail client. First step, stop using port 22 for SSH. Attackers scan it constantly, so change it to something non-standard like 2245. Well, attackers can still scan what ports are set on listening on your server, but at least it won't be that obvious anymore. So how do you change it? You go to etc SSH. In here, you have a file called sshconfig. You want to open that with either Vim or Nano, and in here, you're going to look for this one, port 22. You're going to uncomment this and then add, let's say, 6767 to it. And then you're going to save this and then you just need to run one command. But before you do that, make sure that you open up that port on either your UFW firewall, if you're using that, or on the firewall of your cloud provider. Just check where you can open and close ports, because otherwise you can't log in anymore. And when you adjusted your port, you're going to use systemctl restart sshd. I won't do that now because this is a test server. I don't want to change the port on my test server. And after you've done that, your command to log in via SSH will be SSH your username at your IP address or your host name -p and then the port that you configured. The second step is to install fail to ban. If you don't know what that is yet, it's just basically a tool that monitors different services and ports on your server that you configured. And then once there is too many failed login attempts, you can configure how many, that IP address will be banned. And the installation is super easy. Of course, we need to update our repositories first, but then we can do apt install fail to ban. And then it's already up and running. You can check that with systemctl status fail to ban. You can see it's active and running. And by default, it already monitors port 22 for SSH. So if you didn't change your port, you don't actually need to do anything. But we did, so we need to configure it. You change to the directory etc fail to ban. And here there's a bunch of files. Don't change anything on those files. You want to create a new one, jail.local, and then you're going to paste in this one. So what this is it's for the SSHD service, enable to true. The port you're going to change to the port that you used. And then you can define max try to 3, to 5, to 8, whatever you like, whatever you feel like is best. I'll leave mine at 5. And then the ban time, you can configure how you like as well. So if you only want to ban for an hour, which is plenty already, you can do that. If you want to do 12 hours, do 12 hours. But keep in mind that if ever you put the ban time to 12 hours and you ban yourself by accident because you forgot your password or whatever, then you need to wait 12 hours as well, if you don't have any other means of accessing your server. So let's save this and then run systemctl restart fail to ban. And then once again, we can do status, and there it tells you it's up and running. Step 3 is to back up and to also update your Mailcow. You can see here on my screen, my mail server has a new update available. So let's run a backup first and then run the update. And to do that, you go to your Mailcow Dockerized directory. If you followed my video, then it's probably in Docker Mailcow Dockerized. In here, we have a directory called helper scripts. So let's change into there. And in this directory, we have a script backup and restore.sh and also update compose.sh. So let's run the backup first with backup all. And then it's going to ask us for a backup location. Let's just do docker Mailcow for now. So now it's even updating the Docker image and running a backup of all the domains I have there. And once it's done, you have here on your specified location, you have a Mailcow directory with the date and even the time. So you can back that up to another location, another server, or wherever you want. Let's have a look what's in there. Yeah, you just have bunch of zip files and even a Mailcow conf. So now back in the HyperScripts directory, we can run the update compose. So /update autofill and then run it. Sorry, my bad. This update compose only works if you have the old installation of Docker Compose, but I always do the new one, which is a plugin. So you go one directory back to Mailcow Dockerized, and in here you have update.sh. If you run this one, now it's running an update, and it says it's updated it, and now the update.sh has changed, and we should run this script again. Okay, I encountered another error. It says I'm missing the command jq. You see, I even tried to restart the Docker containers, but didn't help. So let's do apt install jq was, I believe. And yes, I want to continue. It's installing it. I haven't Googled yet what this jq is all about, but Mailcow needs it, so let's give it to them. And then run the update script again. Are you sure you want to update Mailcow? Yes, I am. Do you want to proceed with the update? Yes, I do. And now it's pulling the newest Docker images. Okay, now the update is done. It took around 4 to 5 minutes for me, and it's asking us if we want to delete those old images. Let's just delete them. We don't need them anymore. And now if we log in back to our Mailcow user interface, you can see that the system is on the latest version. If you like my content and my videos, please consider subscribing and leave a like. It really helps out small channels like mine so much. Thank you for your support. And for step 4, we're going to stay in the Mailcow user interface because now we're going to check some password policies. For that, go to System, Configuration, and then go to Options. And here you have password settings. And in here you can do those following settings, like a password length. If you say 8 characters is not enough for my family and friends or whoever you're hosting your email server for, then you can up that to 12, 15, 16, just however you feel like what's best. You can tick those on and off depending on your needs, but I like to have like at least one alphabetical character, one special characters, a lowercase and uppercase character, and at least one number, just to make the password as secure as possible. And down here, Mailcow also has some password recovery settings, just some basic settings. Just define an email as a sender and also a subject. And then you have here a template of the email that's going to be sent if someone clicks on I forgot my password. And then for the record, if you want to use those reset password functionality, you need to go into each and every single mailbox and define a password recovery email, like password@xyz.com. You need to, like, the person needs to have access to that email address so they can reset their passwords for themselves. So I don't want to change that. On to step 5, which is to enable two-factor authentication. Strong passwords are a good start, but what really makes it hard for an attacker is multi-factor authentication. So even if someone figures out your username and your password, they still can't log in without your phone and the Authenticator app on it. I recommend to set it up for your admin user 100%, but also teach all your users about that, whether it being your family, your employees, or your customers. And to enable it, you just have to log in with that mailbox you want to enable it for into Sogo, and then go here on the settings. And then down here, you can set two-factor authentication method. Just use time-based OTP with Google Authenticator, even Microsoft Authenticator works, and then enable it. Mailcow will ask you to put in your username, your email address, and your password, and then you have this QR code on screen, which I'm not going to show you or else you can just put it on your own Authenticator app. So let me just scan that real quick. And after that, you have those 30 seconds passcodes on your app, and you need to enter this. And now it tells us we have two-factor authentication enabled for this mailbox here, and we can also remove it, which I'm going to do. And then I'm going to set up a new two-factor authentication off camera. And the last part is step 7, to use the integrated fail to ban inside Mailcow UI. That's right, Mailcow has its own fail to ban built in. And that fail to ban instance doesn't monitor the SSH port. It monitors SOGO, Dovecot, and postfix. For that, we go to system configuration again, then to options, and then here we have fail to ban parameters. And just like fail to ban inside the command line, you can define the ban time here in seconds, the maximum ban time. Why the maximum ban time? Because the ban time is incremented with each ban. Then you can define the max attempts. I want to set mine to 4 maybe. And then the retry window, that means within 180 seconds, if you fail 4 attempts, you will be banned. And for me, I want to up that to 600 seconds. And then in here, you even have an allow list and a deny list if you have IP addresses that you want to allow always, like your workplace or something like that, and a deny list, a blacklist, if you have IP addresses that you never want to allow to access your mail server. But keep in mind that even users can be banned if they try to log in with too many failed attempts. That's why you should provide information about mail client setup and also configure an email address for each mailbox for a password reset, just like I showed you earlier in the video. You can find a template for the documentation for the email client setup in the download link down below. And those are the 7 settings I use to harden my mail server. Do you use them too, or do you have any further settings you want to share with us? Then let us know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.